Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net and it's Saturday the 11th of June. Thanks again for watching. Because it's a Saturday, it means it's our look ahead roundup, which means that this video also is available free of charge to all. You don't need to be a WeatherWeb Premium member. But if you're not a member, why aren't you? It's so easy to join. Just go to weatherweb.net, click on Premium Membership and click on Subscription Options. If you decide to pay monthly, you can actually get a free 3-day trial. If you choose to join using our 6-month and 12-month direct debit options, then you can save 5% or 10% respectively. All you need to do, click on Premium Member, go to Subscription Options, and you can join up right away. Had some great feedback in from members, being bowled over basically by the amount of people that have joined. Pound on Farm said that there were lots of grass in Big Rose. Thankfully, being a WeatherWeb Premium member has paid off because I didn't mow. That's what we like to hear. Jane Newton 9 as well, tweeting that we're bailed and wrapped and now raining. The perfect storm. That's what we like to hear. We're about saving money for you. Making the weather work for you, basically. Okay, let's get on with the show then. Quiet on the sun still. A couple of sunspots, big areas. One off towards the eastern limb, one off towards the western limb of the sun. Overall, though, look how quiet it is. It's just bombed out in the last few days. Started to pick up now, but a very, very quiet sun. As far as sea ice is concerned, well below average in the Arctic still. This is the average grey line down here. That blue line is where we are at the moment, so you can see conditions are well below the average. In the Antarctic, actually we've gone up to be just above average amounts of sea ice now down in the Antarctic Ocean area. As far as sea surface temperature is concerned, here we are with our La Nina getting stronger all the time. We are now officially into La Nina conditions. Our cold blob still in the northern Pacific and our cold blob in the western parts of the Atlantic. This is what I've been musing about, and also we mentioned it in the look ahead a couple of days ago, how we've now got this split of cold out towards the west. We've got warmer water across the western parts of the UK. The question is, how does this warmer water now for the west of the UK influence convection in the air above? Could it lead to more mixed conditions? And of course we've still got the colder water off towards the west, which would lean itself into more anticyclonic conditions. Cooler water too now in the western Indian Ocean, but you can see still how much of the Indian Ocean remains warm, and I think this is having a huge impact on the global weather just at the moment, more than we probably give it credit for, because we're concentrating so much on La Nina. So it's the Nino region 3.4 that we're interested in. These are the anomalies going back to 1997. Going through to April 2016, you see in April we ended up at about a +1, but we are now minus 0.2. So we've come down into La Nina conditions. So we have come off from that large peak. The question is, what happens next? Here we are with the temperature anomalies, global temperature anomaly for June so far, and generally we're about 0.453 degrees above average. Remember, this is just model based, so this figure can change. But what's interesting, note the cooler blob here across western parts of Russia. The UK generally warmer than average, a split across the states as well, western warm, southern and eastern areas on the cooler side, and also across Asia tending to be on the cooler side too. Very warm across North Africa, very warm across central and northern parts of Australia. Cold though down here across southern Brazil and across Argentina. So there are distinct regions just at the moment across the globe where we are warmer and colder than average. Now the predictions for El Nino, as I say, this is having an impact on our weather. This is from the Chinese model, taking us actually right the way through until April 2017. And you notice here, if you just take a mean between these two lines, how generally it gives us a bottom out of minus 1.5. Now, we've gone from minus 0.8. Minus 1.5 puts it in moderate category. Minus 0.8 is putting it into a weak category. CFS sees it like this. It pulls it down and then sees a little pickup through January, but it's going with a minus 1.1 just at the moment. Remember, we've gone minus 0.8, so they're going stronger than we are for this particular event. Now, in terms of forecasts, this then is what the Beijing model converts El Nino and other cycles into, this is the prediction that it's making for next year. This is for January through to March next year. We're already issuing forecasts as to how we think spring and summer next year will be. This is January to March though. Got a trough across Iceland. It still goes with the idea of a ridge building across southern parts of the UK and keeps us into generally mixed conditions across Scotland. Windy, wetter than average across northern Scotland. But actually, across many parts of England, Wales and Ireland, it goes for another mild spell through January and March. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that. That's just one particular forecast. But it's interesting to see because of the centre of the heights down south, centre of the low heights up north, there's going to be a strong westerly jet in between those two, probably focused on Scotland, which indicates that we are into milder than average conditions again as we go through the winter. What about the coming weeks though? This is the CFS forecast as it stands just at the moment for week 1 from the 11th until the 17th of June. It's gone with unsettled conditions as we've been talking about. Low pressure through the UK, jet across the south brings us mixed conditions through the week. Anxious to stress again, not a washout by any means, but certainly more mixed than it has been. Week 2 looking like this, still staying with a trough idea across the UK. Unsettled conditions, outbreaks of rain and showers again. And then into weeks 3 and into weeks 4, tries to get another trough off towards the west of the UK during week 3. Builds the ridge off towards the east. And then headed into week 4, puts us in near average conditions. Now what we think actually is going to happen here is that there is likely to be a ridge that builds across the south sometime around the 24th, 25th of June. This brings dry conditions into southern areas at first, and then gradually they move their way northwards. Now, it may always be that western Scotland, northern parts of Ireland stay in outbreaks of rain, but we do think it becomes drier for a time at the end of the month across southern areas before we slip into mixed conditions as we get into that early stage of July. I think probably important to stress that this is not something that we think is going to be very unsettled or a washout by any means. It's just more mixed conditions ahead. We struggle to see 3 or 4 dry days ahead before we get to about the 24th or the 25th of the month. Of course, we update you on that throughout in the daily look-ahead videos, because these videos are updated every single day. Also, we've got the 2-week planner updated several times a week, which give you details for the next couple of weeks, and the fast forecast updated daily with your full details for the next 2 to 3 days. And of course, we explain more in our musings, which are online for premium members to read. So, if you're not a member yet, please do become one. Go to your subscription options page here. It'll tell you everything that you get by being a member, and then you can choose one of those options as to how you'd like to pay. But yeah, our aim is to make you weather happy. Right, I'll leave you with that for now. Thanks again for watching. Whatever you're doing, keep the sun shining, and bye for now.